Well, agreeing to this, I have today, Father Crane is Carol, his and a minister at St. James, Elizabeth Temple. And I'm going to start off by asking each of you your vision for taking this journey of and actually going through immersion program, choosing to do it in another country. Who would like to start first?
Looking at we're wanting to do this was multiple to do it before. Like 35 ago when I took Spanish in high school and in college, it took a week of training Keith Brown a number of years ago. Speak Spanish. This was about echo. So I did, in fact, take that. There's much of a way to get that. That didn't go very far. And so became part of and such a wonderful connection with so many new friends that speak Spanish and many Spanish. And I think I want to be able to communicate with more people, not also just in countries.
Okay. Ultimately, Spanish in high school, and I liked it, but the academic setting wasn't very helpful for speaking. Whenever I met someone who I could actually do it, I didn't know how to at all. Really, why I wanted to learn was to be able to fix people. So our lady, like my great, great people who only speak Spanish, and the Spanish skills to converse with them. But I've just been very interested in myself in a different language. So that was the and Spanish just makes sense because of our lady, because there are a lot of people that speak Spanish. Well, I found myself in music settings with the other group where conversing with, and I just wanted a few words of Spanish. I studied Spanish at all. Yeah, I went on this trip, and I just wanted a few phrases just to be able to communicate a little bit, and I'd love to build on that. Lifelong goal to be, well, I don't know if to be. I studied Spanish in high school and college. I had almost a minor. I all throughout my adult life looked for opportunities to take a class further, and I took, what was it? I did that 1 year too. I've never done an immersion experience, and I just needed a culture to be able to speak fluently. I think it's just, I don't realize how important a language Spanish is. It's probably the second most important language in the world. So I don't know to be able to
Program in Mexico, and particularly in Guanajuato, Mexico, which, if I'm correct, it's in central Mexico, and there, that experience for people, I really that have, maybe stepped as tourists and the tour guide and all of that. How is this experience kind of different, similar to that, or what was the experience coming to this country? Was that? I
came alone because my parents went together out of me and Beth also went out of me. So And, you know, I was a little bit nervous getting on the plane all by myself. And but getting to Leon actually took 3 airplanes, so for 50 was a while. And then I was sitting and I flew to Leon. So there was a lot of changing it up. I was by myself, and I didn't see. And I remember the husband got just motion to me because he just kept speaking so rapidly that I couldn't understand anything he was saying. But I found it scares me. It's always what I found when I travel. When I recorded, I really felt like I had no idea where to go. Someone would pop up, and I could ask them or guide me to the next place. And then I landed. I was picked up. You know, if I was going to get picked up by the school, I was getting a taxi if I needed to. But then some guy was holding my name on a sign, and he worked for the school, and it just felt so good to see my name on that sign. And then he was so friendly, and he didn't speak English, but so we just really slowly, he spoke Spanish, and we were able to communicate. And so I traveled alone. I was terrified. There were 50 people, and so I was safe.
From Mexico at first, because you hear things in the news. You can go to Mexico because of some drug. So at the beginning, it's going to take a different country. But is from the state of Coast. There's a home there. And she said, no, it's not. It's very safe. And I felt was very safe. And a lot of parts of Mexico were very safe. So,
Great.
I didn't really feel for some time that we went shopping. But my tourist, I felt more a visitor as we began to with the people that we were, the people in the school. Before us, and so we some of it's almost like mission work. We found that we were a lot of people that lived there that may have been Catholic at some time, but walked away from their faith, and we were given our limited Spanish to blessing to folks, and the Basilica there in Panama. That was wonderful. It was one of the people playing prayers as well. And
Right. And so, what piece of mind to go to this particular school and this particular city is Christina had a college roommate who was there. It told her a wonderful time to have personal connection. Did you like on the internet before? Or the website? That helped a lot. Good. And I want to talk a little bit about you guys actually in the classroom. What was it like? What was your learn? What is the format like?
I could say at the beginning sentence, the teacher directions and instructions on it, and it was just blood. I thought, what to do? How do I know what to do? But she's talking in English here and there and point to the book, and for a week and a half, I was understanding all her directions, and it worked, but it felt funny at first. Impossible.
I had a little bit more experience or Spanish in terms of classroom.
The school did a really good job because I'm actually a language speaking myself, and I did a really good job. And all the teachers have advanced degrees in something to do a good extra words for that. They did a great job, and each class was not 6 people. So to me, it's semi-private, and I for 2 lessons, the second was just going to accelerate a little bit, but I thought they did. And I was
optional. You can take as many hours as you want. Every week you can switch. We did 3 weeks, and I was amazed at how much we could well. And not just in vocabulary, which is something you can always learn later, but the verb tenses that we went through in 3 weeks were only to me how. And so all about, I felt like it was a solid foundation, and at least a little bit foundational, I would say, certainly not full. When we've been, I feel like we have a good foundation to develop. So.
I thought classes were fun. Classes were helpful, but we had 3 classes with different groups. And we were just trying to do a game, and we were just getting to know each other. And you know, these are all interesting people, and you really do want to know where they're from. And so there's this emphasis to really learn the language and communicate with these interesting people around you. And so that it felt very natural that I wanted to get more of the language so that I could talk to these people in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. So, ourselves ask and the questions and what would you have homework or interact with people that spoke in there? Was you need to close your door at one point and just say, and one more word of today.
I remember this with their plan slowly to expose what's going to happen the next morning. And on the beginning for a while, there's just so many times that been said, let's try this again. Let's try this again. So I hope maybe it's sort of what he was saying, but there's a woman staying with us who has specifically in Spanish, and very fluent in English and Spanish. And she was watching all this, and went to the kitchen, our host, to me and said, you get what he just said. I told me and told me what the plans would be for tomorrow. But by the time we got to the end of 3 weeks, I where only did I think, but really I exactly the opposite of what was being said. But better just 3 weeks.
Next time, who lived back there, and then spoke his fluent Spanish. He slowed it down a bit, and he'd be saved, but that also helped me understand a little bit of what I might be able to understand. And I knew from the food that we would talk food on the other. Food is wonderful to have. Different. I was the only person thing in the house I was that was so the woman slow. You know, she'd sit down with me. I don't know. She almost acted like I understood more than I did. I didn't understand her, but we have these big philosophical conversations about all kinds of stuff. I understood her, but I couldn't have the language to. Right. Yeah. Really helpful, but at times I got really tired because, you know, that does make me tired.
Yeah, and the television with the Spanish news, and I was trying to and talking guest house in Spanish. We had made up to the other in Spanish. I'd like to have used more, I thought, in the day. Yeah.
So the teacher, and so you get the summer vacation off, right? And you chose to do spend time, right? Church that is, right? A particular amount of vacation time to do this particular work.
We did 2 weeks of continuing education. It was actually under continuing education. I didn't.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good clergy to their issues or trees. Most of them, if you plan ahead, some 2 or even 3 weeks. If you're I can imagine at least like that was one of the best uses of that.
And also, part of the wonderful part about going to another country, even just to go to a study program, is also some of the things that you could do. And so, well, tell me a little bit about what kind of travel you are there to experience.
Mountains and hikes. And be there the once a year anniversary celebration of Ignatius Loyola. The city climbed up the mountain, and we went through that long train people hiking all the way up the mountain. It's that to join people on an island. People ahead of me making it to the top. And
The city was 300 feet. So temperate, there's not much over 80. It's the reason, so there were a number of thunderstorms that came through. That was right. It was the south and it was fantastic. But yeah, we're all kinds of mountains all around it.
some of those like little excursions that you could sign up for.
You sign up for any?
We did. We went the first weekend. They stayed a week longer than I did, so I didn't get to do that. But we went to the first weekend in Morelia, the capital of Spokane, and that was just really a delightful day. We just got into some other students in the own school. Key to where there were parent rooms, so we got to see that, and it was just all that we could see. Study, but it was nice.
What about your favorite touring experience?
And I also like climbing mountains with a little crop on top of it. Cactuses. And a man who works on and runs up and down those mountains every day and talked to us for a little bit in Spanish. I like the mountain climbing.
Good. Now, moving forward, and you're back now, and so what can you explain a little bit about your expectations as you continue this? Obviously, part of the that you do trees and as well as persons, and so talk a little bit about your in both of those areas.
Well, we're hoping to have you Spanish to us. And put it up. Lots of others, because I think that's probably the number one way for us to keep up is have spin to language. We were there, we did in Spanish, and continue to do even for home in Spanish and so forth. And we're all motivated and aware of this whole thing. If we don't keep using it, keep studying, keep it weekly, we to do that.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm. So you had some motivations with the music program.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
Speaker, tell them I'd like to be able to say and help get it right and help them to try it out.
mm-hmm.
We need help getting it tailored for those specific instruments.
Mm-hmm.
To go to the talk about Our Lady every now and then. Given people value them in Spanish, that'll turn into a conversation, and that's good practice. I find myself talking about it. I use the same phrases over and over, and that's been really helpful actually. So that's been fun. And in terms of ministry, I mean, who knows? I think as fluency grows, that opens up a lot of doors. That I see with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading the Testament in Spanish, and it takes me a long time to get through a few verses, but but the acceptance is pretty good. Like I can read a little bit and understand that production. That's my biggest hurdle. So there are some people, especially outside of our in my work, schools that I can speak Spanish to. Samantha Kim is one of them.
Yeah. So the church near has certainly opportunities outside it.
They talked about having Spanish in the U.S. also, which I think would be fun to invite native speakers to also, and then have a discussion, as well as good, about the movie in Spanish after the movie.
And one trick I heard was to watch a Spanish movie with subtitles, so you see it, and I could do that.
Great. Great. Well, thank you. Anything that you'd like to say for perhaps in a space like really, really scary and overwhelming to embark on this? What actual things, but also practical things that you can help people, or if you have that interest but haven't quite the hurdle of saying, this is something I actually do at my life, where I am right now, my busy schedule, or my education level.
Because going with someone else makes it much.
Can start exactly where they're at. They don't have to have had Spanish. They don't have to. So it doesn't matter, you know. And there's you can start with having fear. They take people exactly where they're at.
In the school is last elementary class.
Great. And so, anything else that you?
It's an experience, not just with Spanish or language, but people, when you have opportunities to let people help you. It's mean, yes, there were, my first was, I think, pretty because I knew some Spanish, but I would sit there and listen to the instructions. Go from, a good student who got on the back to suddenly, I must be the dumbest kid in the class here. Else not getting anything about those instructions. And that's always hard to start, and I think it takes a little bit of courage to do something like that. But happy I was that I was there. I can say this, it really is hard. It's difficult. I really was going to be just like one to keep up and to do many times, enjoyment, little sense of being willing to and I think to grow anyway. Probably good for almost anybody. Every just wonderful. And so lots of people who feel very
Learn what you can learn and jump in. There's not a beginning and ending point. It's just, A at the end.
You do a piece of paper that says you were there.
This is 2 days.
And it graduated.
One last year, and you see that people ask me to do my morning.
She said, do it.
Well, thanks for joining us, and make this available online and as well to the school, but also keeping in mind that there's many programs out there depending on what people. Thank you. Thank you.